Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Merry Monday Mail Call Show. It's great to have you with us. It's Monday morning here in Australia, and my screen is on the wrong page, so now I can see you. There you go. Welcome to the show. So today we're going to be covering off a random book called The Weird from DC Comics, which has a great pair of creators that will be bringing to life, as well as a few other hauls that I wanted to share with you, not least of which one that I featured in my latest video, which was a toy that I purchased based on Micronauts from the toy line that inspired the comic book that Marvel published back in the late 70s. So looking forward to sharing that one with you too. Before we get started, let's check out the chat and see who's here joining us today. Derek Hammondtree is here. Derek, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Just wanted to say, hey, Dave, I will watch later. Great to see you, at least briefly, and I'll see you on the rewind, mate. Thank you for joining. We've got Gav7843. Hey there, watching in the UK. Welcome from the UK. What time is it in the UK? Late at night, so it's late Sunday night. So great to have you with us. And Glenn Simpson's here. Hello, Glenn. Great to see you too. And Huratan's here as well. What are your top 3 Grail comics attainable? What are my top 3 comic Grails attainable? I am still looking for an Alan Moore signed copy of Miracle Man issue 1. That is one that I'd love to be able to pick up. It is a Grail comic of mine because it's, I think they're only like, 1,000 or 500 creators that. So yeah, I want to grab one of those. Attainable. Ooh, let me see. 8:30 p.m. here as well. Oh, excellent. Good. Thanks, Gav. Thanks for letting us know. Top 3 Grail comics. So we've got my Miracle Man issue 1. Top 3. I'd love to hear everyone else's here actually as well. Top 3 Grails that I'm still looking for. Let me see what I can think of. Let me come back to you. I'll start to think during the show. We've got one already. I'll come back to you with the other 2. It's a bit more. A Silver Surfer 1. That would be good. Again, I'm not sure how attainable that is, depending on the grade. But a Silver Surfer 1, I would love to have. I don't have one currently in the collection. That's something I've been after. Yes, Hurricane, you're with me. I don't think that's attainable, though, necessarily. AF15 UK price variant. Yes, I would love to grab one of those. But again, attainable. That's the thing that's tricking me a little bit here. Because Grail books and attainable, they sort of don't go together side by side. Narman, the comic bookworm, is here. Good to see you too, mate. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So maybe I'll kick us off by going to the overhead camera and we can have a look at what I picked up from that amazing toy show or toy store that I visited in Melbourne. So if you haven't seen the video already, I went to Lobos Collectibles in Melbourne. It's a great, amazing comic book store and toy store. That has the most amazing vintage displays. So if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. And I picked up this. Now, this is the Micronauts Battle Cruiser. This is from Series 2. So they had 3 series, I seem to recall. And I got this the year that Star Wars came out. And I think it was a replacement because there were no toys for Star Wars, if you recall, at the time. And my parents got me this for, I believe it was Christmas or my birthday, one of the 2. And I remember vividly playing with this in the backyard at the age of 5 and thoroughly enjoying it. And I used to play with friends. And unfortunately, one of the friends decided to steal one of the guns. So it became incomplete very, very quickly. But it's a fantastic store, fantastic piece of kit here. And as I say, it did influence the Micronauts comic book. So it's a sort of bit of an adjacent for you here. Glenn Simpson, I had that. It's a fabulous toy, and I'll take it out of the box in a minute and show you why it's a fabulous toy, because it's not just a battle cruiser, but you could mix and match and make this into whatever you like. Didn't come with any action figures. I never had any action figures from Micronauts. But I'm sort of on a bit of a hunt now to sort of pick up some Micronauts stuff because it was Pretty impressive stuff. So created by Migo, based on Japanese designs, and they're just very interesting toys. But great to hear you had it as well, Glenn. And then I'd like to find a Bloodstone one in low enough condition for me to afford. Bloodstone one, I'm lucky enough to have that, Glenn. It is a great book, and a fantastic cover, like a really good cover. Just very interesting the way that they use the form of Elsa Bloodstone with the bridge. They did a good job in terms of that piece. So let's have a look inside, and you'll get a sense of this. I mean, it's just an amazing. As you can see in here, I did actually reconnect it and re-pull some of the pieces back on so I could put it back in the box. But it doesn't have the stickers, but it's pretty much complete. All the glass elements are here, and as I say, it's modular. So these things, you can pop these things off, and yeah, it's all modular, and you can create your own separate vehicles, and you can add the wings on. So I'll try and put the wings back on here, and there you go. There's one of the wings, but it's a pretty sizable thing. Maybe I'll show it on the other camera so that you get a better sense of the scale of the thing. So let's bring me up to the main screen, and here it is. So I don't know if you get it in focus, but yeah, it's a pretty impressive, very, very detailed, and all of these pieces come off. It's got the original darts as well, and it also comes with its own remote control, which still works. So there you have it. That is the Micronauts Battle Cruiser. Very happy to have been able to pick that up and add it to the collection. And just a nice little piece of nostalgia. I might pick up some other Micronauts pieces as we go, but I thought I'd share that with you because it was pretty impressive. It was 199 Australian dollars, so that would be about 140 US. The box is in decent shape as well, as you can see. So yeah, not too bad for something from 1977, but very happy to have picked that one up. Another thing that came in the mail this week, not this week, over the Christmas period is this, which I haven't shared with you all yet. So CGC decided to hold the CGC Comic Registry Spooky Awards, which is their first inaugural awards for that, where they nominated 5 sets from the registry to be the best spooky awards. And so I won with one of my sets, which is the enormous set, which is the Tim Daniel comic that came out and unfortunately only lasted 2 6-issue runs. But seems to be a thing that happens with me. I pick a book and it basically doesn't last very long. But that one, it did have a number of variant covers. So I have the winning registry set for that one. But now it's also the winner of the best set 2025 for the CGC first inaugural Spooky Awards. But I wanted to share with you what they sent me through. So I also got $150 credit from CGC. This a lovely, beautiful banner, which I really, really like. CGC cap. I got CGC lanyard. We got ourselves a 2.5, so that's their 25th anniversary pin. So that'll be going in my CGC pin collection. Got a CGC Comics Registry Awards winner pin. Bring that one a little bit closer to the screen so you can see it. Look at that. So yeah, I don't think that many of those get given out. And there's the 25 anniversary. And then this is I think this is the Spooky Awards pin that you get, 9.8. The standard CGC Comics pin, and then a whole bunch of stickers from CGC, as well as a little CGC pen. So fantastic. Yes. And then on top of that, they sent me through this. CGC's graded Creepshow version 2, issue 4 in the 9.8. And it's 2025. It's got a little line on the top here. You can see it. 2025 CGC Comics Registry Spooky Awards winner. So nice little package to receive from CGC there. Thought it would be interesting to share with you all. I've had it sort of set aside for a little while. So yeah, thought I would throw that in the mix and share that with you. Some nice little treats in there from CGC, and I can't wait to spend that $150 credit and see what we're going to get graded. Talking of what we're going to get graded, I'm not going to grade this, but I am going to take it out of the box so you can get a better sense of this book. Now, I got this full set of The Weird, which is the title of this one's video, from Dave and Rachel at Future Past Vintage Collectibles. Now, why I picked this up is it is by Jim Starlin, Bernie Wrightson, and Dan Green. So for me, as a Bernie Wrightson fan, I had to pick this up. And as you can see inside, it's classic Bernie Wrightson, but with superheroes, and very, very beautifully inked by Dan Green here, and a decent story to boot. To be honest, it goes on a little bit long. It shouldn't have really been a 4-issue miniseries, but it was. Tells a story of an alien coming to basically to Earth and the Justice League encountering it and how they dealt with it. But great little book for me, the artwork and just having Bernie Wrightson doing superhero pages. This one in particular I thought was particularly cool. So yeah, I'd love seeing this. I love seeing Bernie Wrightson's art and having that side by side. As I say, it wasn't just the one book. Picked up the entire run. So it's a 4-issue miniseries with Jim Starlin. And again, you can see beautiful artwork by Wrightson, particularly on that issue 2. I really love issue 2, the way that shows the dynamic of the child and the weird who's taken over the body of his father. And there we have issue 3. And the final issue, issue 4 there, the explosive finale. Maybe we'll open that one up a little bit and have a look inside. But yeah, I always like taking these out and just showing you some of the internal pages rather than just the covers. Because again, when you've got someone like Bernie Wrightson doing the art, you really want to show it off. So here we have it. As you can see, beautiful stuff from Bernie. I think towards the end, not as much of the traditional shading that you would see from Bernie in his traditional style, but still, nonetheless, great little pickup there. And I thought you would enjoy and get a kick out of seeing those books. But that's not just it. I mean, it was a weird and wonderful haul, this one. It got a number of different books coming in. Let me just pull these to one side. It was funny when I also got this from the same batch. Now, many of you will know I have a huge penchant for Judge Dredd, and so picked this one up as well. I didn't have this, and Dave and Rachel, I remember Dave saying, does Dave not already have these? Has he not already got all the Judge Dredds? And the answer is quite simply no. Hence the reason why I purchased this. This one is brilliant Brian Bolland cover as always, and it showcases Blockmania. On the interiors, you've got Mike Mahone, always get that wrong, and Ron Smith art. Fabulous internal page there. I love that one. That one has seen many a pin-up and t-shirt come out of that one, and then runs us straight into the Block Mania storyline. Fabulous, classic story, and great to see it recolored in that sort of beautiful manner, from the original black and white that it appeared in 2000 AD. But I do love the way that these do come out with the new colors in the US, and always great to pick these up. And I always remember Ron Smith and Brian Bolland being my favorite Judge Dredd artists, because they had just their line work was fantastic. And Ron Smith is one that's not really that well known compared to Brian Bolland, who made the jump over to the US. I don't think Ron Smith ever did outside of the UK. Love to be corrected if you know in the chat. But yeah, there you go. Another copy of Judge Dredd. This is issue 18. Loved picking that one up. In terms of weird and wonderful, I'm always partial to a bit of the Pit. Now, I got this from a local comic shop, actually, where I went to pick up a whole bunch of high grade, or not high, well, reasonably high grade Charltons, and saw this. I'm a big fan of the Pit and Dale McEwen's work, and so when I saw this for Australian, I thought I'll pick it up because I'm trying to complete this run, and I don't think there's many issues to the Pit, but I just love Dale McEwen's art and really, really like the idea of the Pit as a character as well. A very, very beautiful, illustrated, classic 90s fun there, an early Image to boot. And I think this run is very underrated. So maybe one I would like to try and get is a few more of those. I'll tell you what I would like to get. I'd like to get a Wizard. I'd like to get that Wizard issue with the first preview of Spawn. That's one I wouldn't mind picking up, because I think that's a really good intro to the whole Image era. And I think the Image era books, even though they're a printed ad infinitum, they are going to start being, I think that was a massive change in the comic industry. So I think that will be a great example of, just comic history. And they will, so maybe that's something I will also be looking for, are those 3 books. Also from Dave and Rachel, pick this up. This is a reprint title of the original Space Adventures by Charlton, but they're in beautiful shape, as you can see. Now these are all Steve Ditko tales, and so I thought I'm not going to be able to get the originals in such high grade, but these are still tough to find in high grade anyway. And just it's wonderful to see Captain Atom reprinted in this issue, introducing Captain Atom with a brand new cover. Well, not a brand new cover, but a cover, Steve Ditko cover. But it's just great to have this awesome Steve Ditko art inside reprints of these classic tales from Charlton, and just love to be able to pick these up. And just looking at these art, it's just fabulous. So very happy to be able to pick those up. But it was not just that one. I think there was 3 issues in total. So this is issue number 9 from 1978. And as you can see here, beautiful condition, a little bit of, color. This is issue 10. And again, more Space Adventures from Captain Atom. More Ditko art in here. But again, you can see beautiful condition. The Captain Atom, the Little Wanderer storyline. But just great to be able to pick these up and be able to enjoy high grade, beautiful Charltons, and the smell coming from them is phenomenal. But yeah, super reasonably priced as well. I think they picked them up for about $12 each, which for Charltons in this quality is impossible. As you can see here, Captain Atom again, more beautiful Ditko art there. just love the ability or the able to be able to pick this up and really enjoy it. But just early Ditko art reprinted on the world's worst paper, obviously Charlton, and more Ditko stories in the back there. So just look at that nice little collection of space adventures featuring Steve Ditko on Captain Atom. Absolutely beautiful books. Really happy to be able to pick that up. Now, the next two are going to make you laugh. Now, I always saw these and just never understood what the hell was going on. I always loved the art of this book. And as I say, when I saw these two up for grabs, I had to pick these two up in particular because I've always been intrigued by these within the Cerebus run. So this is not Wolverine. You would think it's Wolverine. And again, when you're talking about an independent comic, how the hell did they get away with that? Well, Dave Sims was not known for his subtlety. So he basically had this character called the Roach, which he would essentially take the character of the day and parody them. And these two issues feature the character Volva Roach, which is essentially channeling Wolverine from Marvel Comics. But I just love the covers on both of these. They're absolutely fantastic and had to pick them up. And I think out of all the Cerebus run, Cerebus issue 1 as well is another one I wouldn't mind picking up. And not a counterfeit, but the original. That's a great Grail book that I'd love to be able to have. As well as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first print, if I could. But I thought when I saw these, and I can't remember, I think I got them off eBay actually. But yeah, just wanted to pick those up purely cover buys more than anything else because I just love the idea of Dave Sim doing, if you take away the sort of little piece at the top, it's essentially Wolverine. So it's great to see, and actually a really great image there for Wolverine in both, or Wolveroach if you stick to the tail. Next one that I wanted to share with you is, and we get a little bit. It actually is quite timely that someone said to me, "What's my top 3 Grails?" Because I've actually been picking up Usagi Yojimbo as well recently. So I've got another copy of this that came through, and I think I got this from Dave at West Coast Dave Engers, but I've got a higher grade copy of issue 1 somewhere as well. So I've got 2 of these now, so I might have to trade one of these away at some point. But yeah, maybe Albedo Anthropomorphics, issue 2. First appearance of Usagi is probably one that I would also add to that mix as well. If I could grab a copy of that, that would be great. Izzy's in the house. Good to see you, mate. Welcome to the show. Great to have you. And as mentioned, as I said, I do love my Anthropomorphics. And so whenever I get or see a decent copy of Usagi Yojimbo, I'll pick it up. Talking of Anthropomorphics, this is another one from Dave and Rachel. Now, this is issue 52. This is the first full appearance of Jennika, who becomes the 5th Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Now, I do have her first appearance as a turtle when she first transforms. I think it's the New York Comic Con variant. But yeah, whenever I get a chance, I pick up the first appearance of Jennika because I do think when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comes back on the TV, I reckon, or TV or movies, there's got to be, it'll either be the last Ronin storyline or they'll feature Jennika in some way, shape, or form. So this is my little bit of spec, wherever possible, picking up issue 51 and issue 52. I think 51 is the first cameo appearance, but then issue 52 is her first appearance, full appearance. And I can't remember what her first appearance as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is, but I will leave that in the description down below so you can check that out. And then another one that I saw on Dave and Rachel's stream but didn't actually get a chance to pick up. is this Muppets Take Manhattan. And so I found it in my local comic shop that I go to in really decent shape as well. So thought, you know what, I missed it on Dave and Rachel's stream, so I will pick it up here. So I got the 3-issue limited series of Muppets Take Manhattan, the official adaptation of the spectacular new Muppets film from Star Comics. But just great. This is a story by Stan Kay, pencil of Dan Yeagle. And yeah, just thought it was a nice little thing. I love the Muppets, so being able to pick that up is great. So wanted to get that. And you're right, Izzy. That's so awesome. Daughter loves the Muppets and want to be a puppeteer for Jim Henson. Mate, that is, as I say, most of us grew up on the Muppets, right? And it's just great to see them back. So when I saw this, a full set, really high grade. I'm trying to remember what I paid for it. I think it was 50 Australian. But when you think about the grade, very happy to pick that up at that price, because Star Comics didn't traditionally last very long in terms of being able to pick them up. And yeah, they're just, in terms of the quality, they're read very, very heavily. So that's Muppets Take Manhattan. A couple of things from DC. This one is from Bronze and Modern Gods. This is from John. I have been trying to fill the original Watchmen issues in high grade as well. And so I picked these 3 up from John. I think they're in sort of 9.4 to 9.6 quality. But just wanted to grab those. I mean, I've got issue 1, but I haven't got the vast majority of the issues in between that. So picking up issue 10, 11, and 12, the last 3 of the series, was a sort of no-brainer for me. And I love the cover on issue 11, just that sort of stark brutality of that. We also have Chelsea here. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Will is here. Great to see you, mate. And he grew up watching the Muppets. Yes, I think we all did. So it's great to see that, mate. But as I say, Watchmen, it is still, in my mind, a hugely underrated comic book. I think the storyline is absolutely gets all the credit it deserves. It's one of the greatest pieces of fiction, particularly in the comics world. But I think the comics themselves are completely undervalued. And so, yeah, I'm going to pick up a full set. Maybe get, I think my Watchmen issue 1 is graded and signed. I'm not sure if I've actually had a chance to share that yet with you all. But at some point I'll take that out. When I complete the set, I might do an interesting video on Watchmen. A bit of a deep dive into Watchmen, but wanted to share that with you because it is, as I say, these beautiful books, just completely underrated in terms of the actual comic books. So yeah, I wanted to sort of share those with you today. We do have some more Charltons to come, but before we get to the Charltons, a couple more from John from Bronze and Modern Gods. Now, I had an issue 1 of this, which I got from Dave and Rachel of Future Past Vintage Collectibles. And me being the completist that I am, I had to go and pick up issue 2. Now, I had to pick up issue 2 because it is a Bernie Wrightson cover. And issue 1 has a Bernie Wrightson cover. And I don't think the story on the interior is Bernie Wrightson. No, it's Alfredo Alcala. But yeah, those 2 copies, issue 1 and 2, both have Bernie Wrightson covers. And so that was a no-brainer. But then once you've got 1 and 2, I sort of feel I've got to continue the series. And I don't think Kong ran very long. This is Kong number 4. And so grabbed this as well. Not a Bernie Wrightson cover, but yeah, now I'm sort of filling out my Kong the Untamed run purely on the fact that I bought the first 2 issues. Now I have to finish the whole lot. So thought that was an interesting one to share with you. But that's that is how my collecting habits generally tend to work. I'll pick something up and then I'll go down that rabbit hole. Before we close the show, we'll close the show with these. Now these are we'll take some of these out actually because you need to see them external. And to be honest, to quote Richard and John, Bronze and Modern Gods, it's a wavy bag. It's a wavy sack, which I would need to rebag and board. So I will take this out and rebag and board because it is. But I wanted to share these with you because these, we talked about Charlton's earlier. Super hard to find in high grade, these things. And I grab them whenever I can. And I saw these were available at one of the comic shops locally and just had to pick it up. Joe Staton cover this one. The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, issue 53 from October 1975. But just look at the quality of this. And what I love is that you get all these sort of old reprints, horror stories. This one is I think it is a reprint, but you get Steve Ditko art and just beautiful reprints with Steve Ditko doing his bizarre best, as always. And that's the thing that I love. If you're not into your Charltons and you love, picking up as much of these as I can possibly do. And I think I saw it on a stream yesterday. I think it was Swaggerhoss's stream where they were talking about the next frontier in collecting, and I think they were talking about Charlton's and Atlas Comics and them being the next frontier. So I think this, if you're not into your Charltons already, I'd urge you to go and have a look because there's some classics in there, particularly like going back and getting the early Blue Beetles, etc. But it's just, where else can you get great Steve Ditko art and classic spooky stories? And just, as I say, finding them in high grade is nigh on impossible. These things are ghosts, shall we say. And so finding them whenever you can, I would urge you, if you see any Charltons, either let me know, because they're just beautiful. I mean, look at this. This one, I love the cover on this one. And as I say, this is issue 57 from 1976, June 1976. So it wasn't being published all the time at a sort of startling rate, but just beautiful, beautiful condition, this one, when you consider it's a Charlton. And again, more classic stories on the internal, Rampage of Demons. Very light in terms of telling you who drew or wrote some of these books. So it's always interesting to see. But I do love picking them up whenever I can. I just wish that they would tell you who was on the art for some of these books. Because it's sort of hidden in there. You can tell Steve Ditko from a mile away, but you can't. For some of these others, it's a little trickier. We got a Scary Tales, number 28. This is from 1981. I think that looks like a Ditko front cover there. But again, beautiful condition. Great to be able to flick through this. And as you see, some interesting stories within. So that's issue 28, Scary Tales from 1981. Then we have The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, which is an earlier format of that one from the 1970s. I think this is 1973 versus 1976. So this is the original logo and the old Charlton Comics logo as well. And there you have it. Beautiful internal from 1973, second life story. So yeah, pick that one up, Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves. And then to close out the show this week, we have this beautiful copy and I love the cover on this. All New Haunted. This is number 20 from February 1975. Just a stunning, I'll take it out of the glare so you can see it. Just a stunning, grotesque cover, that one. But happily picking that up at super high grade for Charlton. So the printing paper was just, the paper quality was just awful. But you can see here, some of these are just so good to be able to grab. And I just love being able to look through these glorious old Charlton comics. Vlogsy, I have been collecting some Charlton Fighting Marines and Army stories. Yeah, again, whenever you can pick up Charlton's, they're fantastic books. And again, if you can find them, if you're lucky enough, like I have been here, to find them in high grade, grab them, because I do think that they're going to jump up in value at some point. Okay, well, that's it for this week. I will see you all next week. I'll have another video coming out very, very soon. I've got a couple of different ideas that are percolating at the moment, so stay tuned for that. Thank you all for joining on today's chat. It's been an absolute pleasure. Leave a comment leave a comment down below when you get a chance if you're watching this on the rewind. Let me know what you'd like to see on the next show or the future shows, or who you'd like me to interview. We've had a good couple of runs in terms of people coming on the show and being interviewed, but I'd love to sort of interview some more, get some more YouTubers, more comic book folk, and see some of the books that they've been picking up. So leave your comments down below on some of your favorite YouTubers, and then we'll see if we can set some of that up. And with that, thank you all for watching. It's been an absolute joy. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next issue.